Hello and welcome to the final video about Planet Earth 2. So this is my personal picks for the top 10 best moments from Planet Earth 2. I did this with Planet Earth 3 and I thought I would do it again because I just think it's a good way of summarising the series. This was a lot harder than my Planet Earth 3 list. There is a lot in this series. As much as I did say in a lot of my reviews that there's quite a lot of filler in a few of the episodes, not all of them, but a few of the episodes. There is a lot of great stuff, and this was harder. There was a lot of things I thought, right, that'll be in the top 10, and they weren't. So there is quite a lot here that maybe didn't make the cut. Ultimately, these are the top 10 moments I think stuck with me the most from the series. Here is the list. At number 10, I've got the hyenas in the city. Maybe because it's the last episode I watched, it's very fresh in my mind. But this was a great sequence. I had seen it before, as I said, in Deadly 60, but this was just a much more in-depth look at that behaviour. The sequence is very well edited, like it does a really good job of making you think the hyenas are up to something more nefarious, like they're maybe going to attack the people, and actually what is actually happening is a much more wholesome, if you can call it, type of behaviour. It's really just weird. It's very disconcerting to see the hyenas just acting like dogs around the guy that's feeding them. The guy hand feeding them, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, the whole sequence, I loved it. I thought it was really good. At number 9, I have the bat versus scorpion battle. There are quite a few fights that kind of made this list, but this was a great sequence because a bat and a scorpion, two creatures you didn't think would be having a fight, but the sequence is really good. You really get the sense that this is a fight to the death because it is for the scorpion, and the scorpion gets a lot of hits in there. It's just really good. It's really tense, and it's partly because it wasn't expected. I didn't expect it to be in this series. I didn't know it happened, and yeah, I thought it was really good. Number 8 is the Golden Eagles. The Golden Eagle sequence is just majestic. As I said in my review for the Mountains episode, it just looks really almost like Narnia, very mystical. The eagles and the snowy backdrop is great. I think at the time you didn't see Golden Eagles too much. Now you see them a bit more, I think, in a lot of series like Frozen Planet 2 and Wild Isles. But they were really good. It was just really good seeing them. I think they did a good job of highlighting how fast they are. The sequences where they are showing the eagles' perspective, and obviously the filming of that was with the gliders, which is also really good. Yeah, I just really liked it. It stuck with me. Yeah, I think it's a really good sequence. Number 7, I have the desert lions hunting the giraffe. So that was the opening to the deserts episode, and it was a great sequence. Again, the music was amazing. The sequence itself is great. I like how high-octane it feels. I think the lens flares used throughout help add that. And obviously the end of the lion jumps at the giraffe. It's iconic. It's a really good sequence. It's one of the sequences I think that people remember more from the series. But again, it's great. I think it's of all the desert lion sequences we've seen, this is the best. It's not necessarily the best lion sequence from the series, but it is great. At number 6, I've got the leopards in Mumbai. I think leopards don't get as much screen time as lions or cheetahs with regards to sort of big cats, but they were great. This sequence was amazing. I think the fact that they used thermal imaging really helped. Like, it was really ghostly. Like the sequences of the leopards is pretty haunting. Number 5, I have the Mustang. So the Mustang, again, you don't see wild horses a lot in these programs because there aren't too many wild horses left. Most horses are domesticated. You get a hero and a villain, and you put them against each other. The white stallion obviously being the villain. It's just really good, and there's a really quite violent sequence, very brutal. They just show you everything. Again, maybe the end of the fight is maybe a little bit anticlimactic, but the fight itself is great. You felt the gravity of the situation for the male that took it, get his females to the waterhole. I just think it was just old-fashioned, you know, nice storytelling. I think it was just really good. I really liked it. Number 4, I've got the jaguars. So jaguars, you don't see very often. I can't think of any other sequence where you see jaguars in these kind of programs. I think Our Planet did have them in there, but this is great. The whole sequence, not just them attacking the caimans. That bit is great. I mean, it is amazing. It's the first time they really showed you that on screen, I think. But this, you get a lot of time with them. You spend a lot of time with the jaguars. Just the whole of them just wandering around trying to hunt the capybara and being unsuccessful. You get a good perspective of how big jaguars are. I don't think that's something that people realise how big they are. An animal that everyone knows about that we don't see too often. I think that's always a good thing to show. Number 3, I've got the lion versus the buffalo fight. So again, this is the final fight that appears in this list. But this was great. I mean, as I said in my video for the Grasslands episode, I had been waiting for a long time to see a really good lion versus buffalo sequence. It's brutal, it's very violent, it's easily the goriest sequence of this series. It felt very real, it felt like you were watching a very a proper fight to the death. The stakes were real, I think, in this sequence. It was great. It's the best lion sequence from this series. It's one of the best lion sequences I've seen in any of these programs. It's just great. Yeah, I really liked it. Number 2 is the most in-depth look at a single species I think we get in the whole series, or in many of these series, and that is the snow leopard sequence. This is probably the longest sequence on this list and probably in the series. It's just really good. I mean, a really personal look at these snow leopards' lives. I feel like it's the most intimate portrayal of any animal I've seen in a series, including Dynasties, where it was kind of the main focus of the series. And it just was great. You got into this, you really rooted for this mother snow leopard and her cub. Obviously, as I said, there was a bit of controversy about the portrayal of that sequence of the males are attacking them, but it's still amazing. It's still a great sequence. Again, I feel like it showed you a very realistic portrayal of an animal's life, and I think it really was good. The fact that at the end you see that the snow leopard mother and her cub both survived, it adds to it, makes it kind of happy ending to the sequence. It's the best snow leopard sequence I've ever seen, and I don't think that it's going to be topped anytime soon. And then number 1, obviously I think we all know what it is. It's very obvious. It's obviously the moment where the capybara just looks at the jaguar killing the caiman with its mouth agape, just, you know, completely gobsmacked. I mean, it just solidifies how great natural history filmmaking can be. Obviously that's not the number 1. The real number 1 is, everyone's number 1 is the marine iguanas and the racer snakes. This sequence just took the world by storm. It's amazing. It's probably the most famous sequence in a natural history program in recent years, the last 10 years easily. It's just amazing. I mean, I didn't know going into this series that this was going to be the best part of the series. I don't think anyone did. I don't think the people making it realised how popular it was going to be. These marine iguana hatchlings just trying to run for their lives from these racer snakes. The racer snakes, which really are just a small species of non-venomous snake that you would normally see in this part of the world. They wouldn't be scary, but this sequence are terrifying. When they all come out of the shadows, it's great. It just captures the best parts of action and horror filmmaking, I think. It just is great. Honestly, it's the most high-octane sequence in the series. It's the part of the series that I was just completely immersed in more than anything else. Even more than the snow leopards. I just wanted that marine iguana to get to safety. The fact that it does, and you really feel every step of its journey to the high ground which it needs to get to avoid these snakes. It was amazing, and yeah, it's just the best part of the series. Those are my top 10 picks for the best moments of the series. There was a lot that didn't make it. The glass frogs were up there, the catfish and the pigeons was up there, the bears scratching against the trees was really good. There's a lot in this series to like, and not all of it made the list. What are some of your highlights of the series? Did you agree with mine? I imagine there's probably a lot more that I didn't have that other people would have. So what were your picks? As I said in my last video, this is the last video I will be doing about Planet Earth 2, so what do you want me to do next, if anything? As I said, I'm open to pretty much any sort of wildlife programme. There's a lot out there. The BBC have produced quite a lot of really high quality wildlife programmes, and yeah, I'm open to talk about any of them pretty much. So comment which series you'd like me to talk about next. And also, as ever, feel free to like, comment and or subscribe. As ever, you don't have to. It would be nice. There's a couple of yous out there, don't think I don't notice yous. But yeah, anyway, feel free to do that. And hopefully I'll see you next time, whenever that may be, and whatever I will be talking about, because I really don't know at this stage. But anyway, see you next time, potentially, and goodbye.